Bitcoin is bouncing around close to all-time highs. The US is also finally working hard to create regulatory clarity for the crypto environment and a stablecoin bill. Additionally, that businesses and institutions are racing to get into the crypto space. So what does this all spell? Well, really good things for crypto and great things for crypto investors who use this bear market to stock up. Now, we're still not at that blow off top stage of the bull market. And those who have used the bear market to stock up on well-researched low cap gems will often be getting very worried at this point of the bull run. Now, I'm going to break that down with you today. Welcome to the Crypto Rain channel and our family. If you, like me, came into the crypto space because you realize there's massive potential here for life-changing gains over a 4 to 8 year period, and you're looking at how to do things right, recognizing that most people in crypto actually do things wrong, and the numbers are staggeringly bad. 89% make no money or straight up lose money. 6% make a little bit of money. The remaining 5% make the gains that everyone thinks everyone makes. Well, becoming good and becoming that savage crypto investor, much like a Navy SEAL in the crypto investing world, is difficult. But you're in the right place and with the right family to learn how to do just that. Now, the reason I created this channel is because I was once new to the crypto space myself 8 years ago. Back then, I was looking for a crypto channel and network that understood crypto as an investment and broke it down the way an investor should look at it. I didn't really find that. I found a lot of well-meaning YouTubers that were covering crypto, and they were covering whatever was hot because that's what YouTube incentivizes. That's how you grow a really big channel. Cover what's hot. The problem with covering what's hot is that the pumps are already there. The gains are already there. That's not how you make savage investor money. You got to buy those things before they're hot. And all the YouTube channels were not covering them when they were undiscovered gems. They were already only covering them after the price had blown up. So I decided to create a channel just like that because I was already doing the research anyway. So why not share it with you? Now, additionally to that, we've created a Rainmaker private Discord that you have to join the Patreon, and there's a link below for that. It's the gatekeeper to the Rainmaker private Discord. So you join the Patreon, you then can connect up and get access to the Rainmaker Discord, and that's where additional discussions are, and the very best info is, and some other opportunities that come up once in a while as well. Do note, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm a crypto investor myself, sharing my strategies, what I like, what I don't like, and more importantly, why behind it. Big shout out to our strategic partners, both OneChain and Definity. These strategic partners give me great access to insights from the team as well as tokens to give away every month. And last week we had our giveaway and had 2 winners. So congrats to those winners. We only do the Friday live streams once a month where we do those giveaways. So make it rain on that like button. Strap in for the show and let's talk about becoming rich in the crypto space. Isn't that why we're all here? And let's talk about where we are in the market. To understand that, let's look at the way the bull market has played out since 2017. Is that Bitcoin generally leads the trend. And then higher cap altcoins with significant traction usually follow. And then it rolls into low caps that generally go crazy. Now, in the 2021 bull market, I tried to play the game of buying higher cap altcoins like Bitcoin, ride it up, then roll it into the lower cap gems. So I put half my portfolio into the lower cap gems I like and half into Bitcoin. And I tried to time it just right. What I realized is that though that trend does happen, timing it is way harder than it looks when you're actually going through it and you have money on the line. You end up usually rolling it too late, and because the altcoins move so fast, you actually end up behind from where you would have been had you just put the money in the altcoins to begin with. Because even though you may have made 6x or something on your Bitcoin, when the altcoins blast up, and if you haven't moved over in time, they can go 10x in a day. and all of a sudden you're behind from where you were hoping to be. Not just even, you're literally behind. So going forward to this time, well, I saw that last time I would have been better off just to make the smart placements into lower cap gems I was interested in and just hold on for dear life till they went crazy. It is a better strategy that leaves less room for messing up the timing, all because if you do mess up the timing, it will mess up the returns for the whole cycle. However, this approach of going into low cap gems has a downside. It takes a savage. Now, I often refer to those who become really good at making the right trades at the right times as savage crypto investors. And you do have to be savage, because if you are making the right purchase at the right time or selling at the right time, you are, in other words, buying when everyone calls you crazy, and you are selling when everyone calls you crazy. What I've learned over the years of life is that most people literally can't do that. They need to follow what the crowd is doing to feel safe. And if they get too much pushback from other people, they cave and crumble. You will not do well in crypto investing if you can't go against the grain. If you can run into the right burning buildings when everyone else is running out, and then later essentially buying when it seems like the building's on fire and everyone's running out and they're panicking out, and then you turn around and sell as everyone is flooding back into it, well, then you're doing things right. And that's so hard, because what's the rest of everyone doing? Well, they're running out of what they feel is a burning building, and they're selling into your hands, as well as they're telling you you're crazy and anyone buying now is crazy. And then later, when you're selling, perhaps back to the same people, they tell you you're crazy because everyone's buying now. Well, so where are we at specifically in this market? We're at a particularly crucial point where many who have taken the long-term approach with the higher risk altcoins may be second guessing their decisions. Now, why would they be second guessing them? Well, because they're seeing Bitcoin rise. They've also seen last November that ISO coins took a nice 5 to 8x, and they're potentially, and most likely, their low cap altcoins have been mostly getting further punished. And the idea of taking or having taken Bitcoin up or higher cap altcoins up and then rolling them would be particularly eating at you and have you completely second guessing your approach. Now, what is hard and most people miss is formulating a strategy, a well thought out plan. What is also hard is sticking to that exact plan. I'm frequently asked, when are the altcoins going to boom? And I can't say I know, but likely it is when Bitcoin breaks above 160K. Now, we may have a very interesting cycle this time. There are a lot of reasons to believe Bitcoin could break its 4-year pattern and go much higher than normal. If that happens, and I think it will, that may delay altcoins running up a bit later. Or if the run for Bitcoin and altcoins, potentially, they could just go up longer than the really short blow off top period that is normal. Do you realize that when these lower cap altcoins run, a lot of the action happens in literally about 3 weeks? If you look back at 2021 and 2017, normally most of the altcoin action happened in just 3 weeks. A few coins doing over 1,000x in just a 3-week period. Now, how is it going to play out this time? I don't know. History will not repeat itself completely, but it will rhyme with previous cycles. So back to that idea of being a savage. You have to be a savage to be able to buy when other people are selling and sell when other people are buying, because you're going to get massive peer pressure that you are absolutely on the wrong strategy. And if you've taken a formulated, well thought out plan based on what works, which is literally buying low and selling high. So despite what everyone tells you, you're using research so that you're buying just the right things and taking a risk on them when they're really, really low. And then you're committing to holding them till they're high. Another part of being a savage is realizing that it is unlikely that every one of those projects that you invest in are going to make it. So a lot of people get the idea that you're running into the burning buildings, buying, and you're using research to make sure you're going into the best risks out there. But what you're going to find out is, well, there's a strong reason why savage investors diversify. And say you diversify across 15 different projects. If you're a really good investor, 3 to 5 of them, maybe even half of them, will still fail. And that takes a savage to be able to see that and keep going. Now, I know some of the ones I've invested in during the bear markets, like Meld, have failed. Meld being a perfect example because they officially announced closing their doors. So it's clear that they failed. Now, others may have failed, but it is unclear that because they're kind of still around. There's a few that have closed their doors and announced it. But most of them have just gone into low flow mode where perhaps they're dead or perhaps they're just like seeming almost lifeless. And they may survive or not. And we won't really know till the altcoin season really runs. What I saw in 2021 was that some of the companies in this situation came back to life and some did not. So here we are in this in-between time when Bitcoin has climbed from 14K lows to 107K, XRP from 40 cents to $2.26, while many of my own altcoin bets like Ecomi's OMI token are down to near 4-year lows. And many people have taken this to mean that this strategy doesn't work. And they say things like, Rain doesn't know what he's talking about. They couldn't be more wrong. The game isn't as simple and straightforward as it seems to them because they're relatively brand new to investing within the past 4 years and they don't understand the bigger game. And that's okay. We've all been new before. Have you ever seen horse racing? Did you know that some horses that almost always win are somewhere near the back till the very end of the race? And they call them good closers. Yet in that final stretch, they massively outperform all the others. Now, low cap gems are like betting on late race closers, where the massive runs and massive gains happen only at the very last lap. And we aren't at the very last lap yet. But all those fudders is funny that they can't already figure out that they're wrong just by how well this strategy did for me last time. So either they don't know my history with investing, or just in history in general, knowing that these late stage closers often don't run till the very end. So it looked like they're totally going to lose and then they pull right ahead and win. Or they think for some reason that it won't work like that this cycle. And that is just because they are new to this. And you can't fault them for being new and not understanding. We all have to start somewhere. And it's funny when we're new, we think we understand so much more than we do. It's kind of like, have you ever seen the high schoolers graduate and they just think they understand so much about the world and they have it all figured out and they're really just beginning their journey, but they're always so full of advice and telling you how to do things right when they really don't get the bigger picture yet. And it's okay. It's just part of their journey. So enough about those people, because it isn't them that I've been looking for this audience. Whether they get it or not is much less relevant to me than you. What is fun for me in this journey that we have been on is finding people like you. Now, I didn't have to make a YouTube channel talking about crypto. There sure isn't any money directly in covering projects that are massively undervalued, that almost nobody is looking at or searching for videos on. Which is why even if most crypto YouTubers could identify great undervalued projects and then cover them, they don't. Because those videos get very few views. And the YouTube algorithm punishes you for creating videos on projects that no one is searching for yet. However, indirectly, there is money. And that money is in investing in these projects. I was doing the research anyway. Why not make videos and share them with you? That has helped this audience grow large enough that we can often get interviews with these projects and direct talks with the companies. And these direct talks with the companies has led to even better information for the audience and for myself. And I think that is the magic. that will lead to even better profits in a very profitable strategy to begin with, and lead to better profits this cycle for you and for me. And that's why I created this YouTube channel. And it's been very fun having you on this journey. Now, we are close, but it feels like still so far away. When it comes, those who have weathered the storms of all the people who told you how dumb your plan was or how dumb crypto is, you'll still reap the rewards, and you will look like you had a magic crystal ball to see into the future. Now, back to the analogy of the Navy SEALs. And the reason I like the analogy of Navy SEALs and Navy SEAL training a lot is because there are so many similarities. To go down this path is 100% volunteer. I've tried to be clear from the beginning of this channel how hard it is to do things differently than most everyone. Look, the 5% that make so much money, it's not necessarily that they're smarter than everyone. They just know how to make the right bets. And usually those bets are when everyone else thinks that those are the wrong bets. So I've tried to be clear how hard it is to do things differently than most and how to learn to do things in a smart, calculated way where you're always taking bets where the odds are stacked in your favor. Then it's a torturous process of waiting, just like the Navy SEAL instructors take all the trainees out into the ocean. They have them get on their backs in the water and link arms with each other, the waves rolling over their faces and heads constantly, over and over and over again. If that wasn't bad enough, the cold seawater draining all the warmth from their bodies till they can't hardly feel any of their appendages. And they're in a semi-hypothermic state. But if you ask the instructors why so many fail, they say it isn't just the length of time that washes out so many of the trainees. It is also that the trainees have an unknown of how long it is going to last. The trainees don't know, is it going to be 2 hours? Is it going to be 12 hours? It's going to be 48 hours before they're pulled out of there and they go back to the warmth. So the only ones who end up making it are the ones that have learned absolute stubbornness and tenacity of where when they make up their minds to do something, they see it through. And I feel that is most of you. Want to catch up on the comments? Chris, so good to have you here. What's up, Bernard? Very good to have you from Bilbao. That's awesome. John Steve says, what's up, family? Good evening. Hello, all. Where do you think we'll be at the end of summer, Jay? I don't know how the summer is going to play out. Historically, summer's not great for crypto. It just isn't. I've seen it in June and July of 2020. DeFi went crazy. So maybe even an individual narrative runs, but I would like crypto to run sooner than later, but summer's not usually great for crypto. The US is getting regulatory clarity. Bitcoin is doing well. I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin slowly still inches up more and maybe goes to 130. I'd be surprised if altcoins run, though they could. Really, a lot of the action happens in 3 weeks. I'm leaning more towards late this year that's when that action happens, but it could be sooner than that. What's up, guys? Oh, Sale here. Good to see you, Sale. All right. Ollie, good to have you here. Yeah, what's funny is I've seen so many people wash out of very strong positions. It's hard to look back and realize how strong the FUD was on Cardano. Like, you can look back at the charts and you can see that Cardano went down to 1.7 cents. But what you can't see and feel was that how everyone told you at that time you were completely stupid and you were buying a complete shitcoin that was dead and Charles Hoskinson was an idiot, and they were not nice about it. Like, it was popular to literally make fun of anybody buying Cardano back then because everyone knows Cardano is going to fail. Now, yes, everyone who thought that was completely wrong, and that accounts for why 89% of people not only like they either lose money or don't make money, because like everyone thought Cardano was like an absolutely terrible bet. And I saw people FOMO out of Cardano at lows to buy into Tezos after Tezos had just 10x. People make dumb decisions like that all the time. But hopefully not you. What I'm trying to do is help you understand smart people don't do that. Like smart investors, the 5%ers that look, I had amazing gains in 2021. I'm not the only one. And so these are just not just my strategies, but what I saw work for everyone that I knew that became rich in 2021, which was just a handful of people that I knew in the crypto space. Why wasn't it way more? Well, because so many people take the wrong actions at the wrong time, but because everyone else is telling them that that's the right action, they think it's actually right. So when I talk about being a savage, you have to be a savage. You have to be able to listen to all the different information, figure out what really does make sense, make your plan around that, and hold to it, and realizing that 89% of people are going to tell you you're straight up stupid and that you're so wrong. And you have to just be able to look at them, laugh, thank them, and just say, well, we're going to see how it goes. Yeah, I know FUD is still strong in Cardano. It's not as, back then they called it Cardano because the test net for Cardano wasn't even live, and they had been working on it for like 6 years. And so it's like, Cardano, and it's never going to happen, and blah, blah, blah. This is 2020. And then they launched the test net, and then earlier than predicted, they launched the main net, and and then Cardano went absolutely crazy. And then people look back and it's like, well, Cardano was given. It was always going to make it. Dude, where the F were you? You clearly were not around buying Cardano at that time, because if you were buying Cardano, everyone was making fun of you. So it's easy to look back with revisionist history and not realize how hard it was to actually buy them. Everyone who bought Axie Infinity with me in January, February, March, April, May, June, July of 2019, almost all of them sold. Almost none of them held through. Why? There was 2 times where it looked like Axie Infinity was going to straight up fail. It's like, oh my gosh, they're like out of money. Unless they raise some funds, they're sunk. Oh my gosh, it's a dead project. Well, they did raise some money and were able to barely hang around, and then they went huge. Ben, are you able to reach out to the bumper team and update us, please? The bad news better than no info at all would be highly appreciated, brother. All things you can share. No, thanks. I've reached out to them 3 times in the past 4 months. The only response I got from them is, all is good. Thanks, brother. So I don't know, they are putting out some videos. A lot of companies, when they're in this, they're like, well, we don't have any big good news, so we just don't want to interact. Yes. What other big news are they going to have right now? Like their technology, they're just waiting for the bull run to go crazy. I wish they would reach out to me because I could put them in touch with an exchange that might be interested in putting bumper technology integrated with their exchange, but they haven't gotten back to me. So, what can I do with that? I still hold all my bumper. I'm definitely not selling at these prices. I still have some of it staked. And so when I harvest my staked bumper, I don't sell that either. I'm just holding on to it. I think bumper will end up doing just fine, but it's definitely in that low flow, hibernation mode where they're smart if they go into low flow and they lower their expenses to almost zero so they can just hang on and just wait till the DeFi narrative hits. And in that type of narrative, they can really blow up and do good. MVE says, hello, everyone. Rain, glory is coming. It is. I had somebody I know really well that has a really high position in, let's just say, the U.S. government. And they're seeing all this action going on with stable coins and where the government is going with stable coins. The person called me up and they said, hey, holy cow, if you could see what was going on here in creation, you'd be excited. But I think you kind of know. How does it feel to have been so right? It's like, it feels good. I love being right. And I often am. And every once in a while, I'm wrong. And when I'm wrong, I love owning up what I was wrong on so that I can update my calculations so that I can be even more right in the future. But look, everything is adding up to crypto going absolutely crazy. Now, I place my bets on what I believe are well-researched, strategically positioned altcoins that I think have a chance to do exceptionally well in the coming bull run. I think some of them will. And some of them will just do okay. And probably we've seen a couple have died. Maybe a few more won't really wake up during that bull run. And it's okay, because the gains on the ones that do well go so high, it's better than holding some blue chip that might do 20 or 25x for you. So that's why I position that way, because like I was able to average from the bottom to the top 100x returns from there. And most of that came like from the higher risk altcoins, really made up the gap and the difference from there. Now, unfortunately for me, I was newer and I put bets into meme coins and I put bets into some other things that I just was new enough, didn't know enough to realize the true risk behind those, and that there were better risks to take. So this last bear market, I think my experience from the previous bear market into the bull run really helped me kind of narrow down to the part of my portfolio from the 2021 bull run that really did the best. Like, what were the factors behind it? And I go through that a lot in my course. If you've taken my Zero to Crypto Hero course, I go through that and break down exactly what those factors are. And I focused all my picks this time on ones that fit those factors, the part of my portfolio that outperformed everything else. And so we'll see how it does, but they're really good bets. Most people have no idea AI will take their 9-to-5 jobs. Yes, time to make life-changing gains with crypto. Ralph Powell is talking about this a lot, and he's right. And he's like, don't fuck this up. And he's so right, because like we don't know what the future will hold with jobs like AI. My wife is getting such good information from AI, like, holy cow. It's like having a personal assistant. I think she pays $10 a month for the AI she uses. And it's like having a really, really high knowledge, smart personal assistant. And this is still just the beginning. So a lot of jobs are going to get replaced by AI. And so, look, the wealthy are less impacted than the poor by massive technology change. So it's time to get wealthy. And this is your chance, because crypto, there's so many reasons why so much money is going to flow into crypto. And those that have taken strong strategic positions can hit the kind of wealth that really wasn't possible to them before. That's why, like, it's way more urgent than people realize. At the same time, you don't want to use money you can't afford to lose, because then you'll actually be too emotional about it and you'll mess it all up. So you have to use both those competing things together. Like, I just got offered a loan of $75K, with payments and stuff. And I was like, tempting, but like I have my own money on the line during this bear, that I've redeployed during this bear market, and it's millions. And I have that redeployed. Would it be fun to have another 75,000, another 150,000, another million to deploy? That would be amazing. But I'm not going to take that kind of leverage risk, because then I can't be patient. And a key critical point to making this work is having the ability to be patient, because you don't know when it's going to play out. Jimbo says people seem to concentrate on how much they have put into a project instead of how much they want to get out of it. Yeah, they do, right? They're like, oh, well, and they think like, I put $3,000 into it and right now it's worth $600. And I felt that way when I put $4,100 into Axie Infinity, and my wife would give me a hard time. She's like, oh, how's your land in that video game doing? And I was like, oh, my $4,100 at about $1,200. Then it was about $800. And there was a very soft floor. So that might have even been a stretch to say it was $800, because like I could have put some things for sale, but it would crash the floor pretty quick and the floor would have dropped, because not much buying and selling, not much buying was happening. So yeah, then it went to 400,000, at which point I sold, but it later went to about 12 million. So, you know, had I gotten frustrated with how much it had gone down and I had sat there and fretted and worried about it every single day, I might have made the decision that most people did, which was just to cut my losses and get out, because I was so focused on what I had lost that I'd realized the losses, and then I would really have lost. I'm going to feel awesome when people realize how right I've been about Devvy. Yes. Devvy is a strong play. Like I'm looking forward to that one. I like the team behind it. Their technology is amazing. That's one of my largest bets in the crypto space. So I'm looking forward to that one too. All right, guys. Just wanted to do a quick video and join you all. I'm going to play a Rainmaker rap. This is just, look, I had a rap commissioned and created. I wrote a lot of the words. Well, I wrote the words, and then I gave the rapper, his name is Charlie out of the UK, permission to just kind of move them around or take them and change them a little bit so it fit within a rap. But really, this is geared as a fun way just to reinforce these principles. And they do work. Like, this is what smart investors do and how they think about it, tied into the 4-year crypto cycle. So just a fun thing every week or every show almost to wrap up with. Because I hope it plays over and over through your head, because I'm trying to share with you how to think differently than those 89% of people think. And if you can learn to think just like the 5% do, you can have the same results they do. That's exciting to me, is all of you having those results, all of you being in that 5%ers that make all the gains.
To the space, chasing all of the gains, chasing the pumps and all of the hype trains. But like in life, shit, right before you could, was told to buy when it was pouring like a rainmaker should. Buy when it's down, don't chase the boats that I miss, cause I always make the time in mind. I take the one out cause I'm patient like that, and I'll wait for the right time. I sell when it's high, I buy when it's low. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm just a rainmaker running the show. Calculated investments, I don't lead with my heart. The principles are simple, they're leaving a mark. Buy when it's boring, just gotta be smart. I sell when it's hype, like all the channels they pump it. That's when I was selling, got parabolic and dump it. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm a rainmaker, making my own start. I'm with the future, learning the past. Makes the time fly by, years going so fast. The game plan is mine, I'll own it now. When I reach the top, haters asking me how. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love, and I follow what I learn, not relying on luck. Time is never better, the time like the present. This next 5 years is a gift and it's feeling like heaven. I'm committed to learn, to study and to know that nothing comes easy, but with knowledge the game show. Sticking out this wrong, cause soon will come a bear market. Learning and growing, and when it's slow will be the target. They say it's come out, Bitcoin is dead. The massive decreases can get to your head. Sticking around, the time is better. I'm strong like that, I'll let the others be fretters. 2 years time, the ball will bring back the gains. That makes it worth the effort, cause here comes the rain. So let's go rainmakers, let's make it all happen. Let go of the hate, let the haters be cracking. I'm here for 5 years, let's do this together. The time is right, the time could be better. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm a rainmaker, making my own start. I'm with the future, learning the past. Makes the time fly by, years going so fast. The game plan is mine, I'll own it now. When I reach the top, haters asking me how. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love, and I follow what I learn, not relying on luck. Haters be hating, the time to slow down. Addressing what they say when I'm wearing my crown. They're chasing green candles like someone who was new. I got a vision that was bigger, helping me to push through. I'm still human and sometimes it is rough, and that's what makes me special, simply I stay tough. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love, and I follow what I learn, not relying on luck.